We'll start standing up and climb the ladder. So we'll lift one side, then the other, lifting the rib cage off of the hips. And we'll take a big breath in. Exhale out and down. Forward fold, melting to the front. And a ragdoll, the legs are soft. You can sway side to side in the ragdoll. Now you can draw little circles on the floor with your fingertips. So we start warming up the body, loosening everything up. You can draw the circles in the other direction. And then come to the center, and we'll roll up one vertebrae at a time. Coming to the top, shoulders will lift up to the ears, push back and down. We'll shake your head yes. We'll go right into the sun salutation, scooping forward and reaching for the sun. Breathing in. And hands come out and down, so fingertips touch the ground and step back one foot then the other to a push-up plank. Lengthening long. And then slowly lower down. You can hover or relax to the mat as we look forward to a cobra or upward dog. Elbows can be bent or straight, just doing what feels best for your body, going at your own pace today. And dig the toes into the mat, hips lift up and back. Shoulders drop. In a downward dog, you'd be on your toes, or you can do a puppy dog on the knees. We're going to push with the fingertips to protect the wrist. Belly button kind of pulls in and up, hips push to the back wall. In our downward dog, then we'll walk the dog, bend one knee, then the other, alternating the feet. And then walk your feet in towards your hands, and we'll roll up one vertebrae at a time. Shoulders will lift to the ears and push back and down. Shaking your head yes. We'll do that all over again, scooping forward, lifting up. And then hands coming down to the ground. Step back with one foot and the other to push up plank. You can be on your toes or your knees. And we'll slowly lower down. And look forward to a cobra or upward dog. And the toes dig into the mat, hips will lift up and back, shoulders drop. You can be on the knees, which would be the puppy dog, or the toes, the downward dog. We'll walk the dog, bend one knee, then the other, alternate the feet. Walk your feet in towards your hands, and we'll roll up one vertebrae at a time. Shoulders lifting to the ears, pushing back and down, shaking the head yes. We adjust our feet, hands will go out and up for our crescent moon, leaning over to the left. Think of pushing that right heel into the mat, right hip pushes out to the side to kind of create that curvature with the body. And lower down. Left hand, right palm will turn up, elbow pulls back. You look up to see the sun. Breathing in and exhaling out. And we'll place one hand on the head. Stretch the neck. Left fingertips turn out, wiggle the fingers. And then we'll rotate the arm, turning palm up and down a couple times. Loosening up the shoulder. And with each rotation, we'll go a little higher towards the sky. And then hands come together at the top and come down heart center. A little pressure with the palm, and we'll take a big breath in. And exhale, kind of forward fold, squishing the lungs, the diaphragm, so they can empty out all the air that's built up. Big breath in. And exhale, empty, 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 empty. One last big breath. And exhale out. Slow breath, slowing the heart rate. We'll slowly lift back up. And we're going to lean over to right side, left heel pushing into the mat, left hip pushing out. Hands can be together or apart, whatever feels best in your crescent moon today. And then we'll slowly lower down the right elbow. Left palm turns up, elbow pulls back. Look up to see the sun, breathing in. And exhaling out. Then place your hand on top of your head. The head falls to the side. Feel that stretch go down the neck. Wiggle the fingers on the right. And rotate the arm, turning the palm up and down a couple times. With each rotation, we'll go a little higher. And loosening up the shoulder, deltoid muscles. And everything warm. And then we'll reach the palms to the sky, lifting up. Breathing in. Exhaling out. A big breath in. And the hands come out and down. Shoulders roll up and back. Loosen up the neck. And if you need water, feel free to grab it anytime today. Now we're going to add on a little bit different poses to the beginning. We'll be standing hip distance apart and bring the left leg back. And that left heel lifts up and down a couple times. We'll inhale, lift up to the sky. Shoulders relax. Breathing in. And exhaling. Strong warrior one, big toe, baby toe, heel pushing into the mat. Now today we're actually going to forward fold and the fingertips will touch the ground, so you can walk your hands down the knee if you need. As the fingertips touch the ground, we step back to a downward dog. Hips push to the back wall, and then we'll walk the dog, bending one knee then the other. Shift your weight over to the left foot, and we'll lift the right leg up towards the sky, going right into a three-legged dog. Now, it does not matter how high that foot is lifted. Just adjust for your body. And then we'll slowly lower down the leg and bring the knee so that right knee will come into the chest, and we'll walk the foot right back up, or walk the hands up the leg. So we'll come back to your warrior one. Lifting. Big breath in. I know it's a little different. Take a big breath, and then the hands come out and down. We're going to bring your hands behind you. Now you can place your hands palms facing up on the lower back, or you can lace your fingers together. We're going to straighten the front knee, push your toes into the mat, going right into our peacock pose. Belly button kind of pulls in as we forward fold, and we lean to the front. And that may be all you need, but if you'd like, you can lift your hands towards the sky. Hands might be together or apart. If your fingers are laced, you just lift up a little bit off the back. What we call our peacock. I want you to pull the stomach in, kind of suck in the belly, and then push the hips back. And a little bit more of a stretch behind the knee on the front leg. We'll take one last big breath in, and then bring your hands to the front knee to release the fingers. Then we'll walk your hands up the leg to a standing position, coming to the top. Bend and straighten the knee. Lift up the toe a couple times, going right into that rocking horse, getting any tension off the feet. And then we'll step back forward, walk in place. We'll try this again on the other side. Standing hip distance apart, right leg comes back behind you, heel lifts up and down a couple times. We'll lift your hands forward into the sky. Big breath in. Our warrior one, we're pushing our toes into the mat. The back heel is pushing down. And we're going to get ready to forward fold, bring your hands towards the ground. So tighten around the rib cage, melt down and forward. You can have one hand on the knee, both hands on the knee. You can walk your hands down the leg, coming to the front. As the hands touch the floor, we're going to step back to all fours, that downward dog. Push the hips back. You can walk the dog for a moment. And all the weight shifts to the right side. We're going to lift the left leg back and up. Now it can be just a little bit off the floor. It's anywhere behind you where it feels comfortable in your three-legged dog today. We'll slowly lower the foot back down, bend the knee on that left side and bring the left foot through so it touches the floor, and we're going to lift back up the same way we came down, walking the hands up the leg. In our warrior one, shoulders relax. Big breath in. And then the hands come down. We'll lace the hands behind your back. And we'll straighten the front knee, whichever order you would like. Now your hands also can just be with palms facing up as we tighten around the rib cage and forward fold, melting down, pushing toes into the mat on that front foot. And if you'd like, lift the hands towards the sky. Hands might be together or apart. You can lace the fingers if that's comfortable. We breathe in and exhale out. One last big breath in, and we'll lower the hands down. Place your hands on the front leg, then walk the hands up the leg to come to the standing position, still pushing with the toes. We're going to bend and straighten the knee, lift up the front toe a couple times, and then we will be opening out to the side, turning your toes out and bending and straighten the knee. Little plie squat. Lifting up and down a couple times. And then we'll inhale, lift it up to the sky. And drop the hips down in our temple pose. Now your hands can be high, that spire of the temple, or they can come down heart center, the prayer inside the temple. You get to choose what your body needs today. You can lift one heel, both heels, or the heels can be on the ground. Always doing what's best for you, release comparison. We'll take one last big breath in, lifting up. Release the hands out and down, release the toes down. We'll turn one toe forward, then the other, placing your hands on the upper thighs, pushing the hips back in our forward fold. Now hands can slide down the legs if you would like. Hands can be on the feet, the floor. They can reach through the legs if you would like. Think of pulling the belly button to the spine, kind of sucking in the stomach. And then push the hips back a little bit farther. Really feeling that stretch on the back of the knee, up the hamstring, maybe on the glute. So you shake your head, yes. Well, now shake the head, no. Shake the head yes again. Well, if you ever feel like you're a little dizzy or lightheaded, keep your head at waist level, heart level, or above. And then we'll slowly begin to roll up one vertebrae at a time. Walking the hands up the legs, tightening the glutes to propel yourself up tall, tightening around the ribcage. Shoulders roll back and down. And then from here, we'll turn left foot out, bend the left knee and place left hand on the knee. We'll bring the knee back so you see a big toe on the inside, feeling that inner thigh stretch. Shoulders will relax down as we lift the hands up halfway. So as we feel this big stretch, we'll slowly turn your head looking over the left shoulder. Dig the toes into the mat. Drop the heels down. We'll take a deep breath in and exhale. Letting the shoulders relax, nice long neck. Our warrior two. Turn left palm up, right hand drops down. You can wiggle the fingers at the top and rotate the arm. Then reach a little higher to the sky, stretching. Now reverse warrior two. Now you always have a lot of options here. You can continue to reaching to the sky, or you can bend the elbow or have the hand somewhere in between. If you're bending the elbow, think of bringing it back, opening up the rib cage to the chest just a little bit more. And then we'll slowly lift back up the arm, lower down halfway, and then we'll straighten the front knee. Reach fingertips all the way to the left, and we're going to push your hips to the right, feeling that stretch down the waistline, maybe around the hip, and then slowly windmill down until fingertip touches the leg. Holding and breathing in, and exhaling out. And we'll slowly bring your right hand down to the left leg. We're going to walk the hands up to the hip. We're adding that reverse triangle today. Take a big breath in. And then walk your hands back down the leg to where it feels comfortable. Hips are going to kind of push behind you back to the right. And then you can keep both hands on this leg, or you can take left hand out to the side, up to the sky, or even place the left hand on the lower back with the palm facing up. That way it puts the shoulder in a neutral position, and you can still look back behind you over that left shoulder. Pushing with the toes. Near a reverse triangle. We'll take one last deep breath in and bring the hands slowly down. So both hands are on the left leg. Walk the hands up to the hip. Turn both toes forward. Nice and slow, walk the feet in towards the center of your body. And then rock side to side in that penguin pose, wiggling the fingers, the toes, shoulders rolling back and down. And then we'll gently turn the right toe out. So we do everything on the other side. Bend the right knee, place your hand on the knee, bring it back so you can see that big toe on the inside, feeling that inner thigh stretch. Inhale, lifting up halfway, shoulders relaxing down. We're going to turn the head, looking over the shoulder, breathing in, and exhaling. Big toe, baby toe, heel pushing into the mat, shoulders drop. Our strong warrior two today. We'll turn palm up. So as the right palm turns up, left hand drops down. You can wiggle the fingers at the top and rotate the arm, loosening up the shoulder. You can reach a little higher to the sky, stretching up, breathing in, exhaling. Elbow can be bent or straight. You're bringing that elbow back just a little bit. We'll take one last big breath in here. And lower down halfway, back arm lifts up. Straighten the right knee. Reach fingertips to the right and then slowly windmill down until fingertip touches the leg. You can look down at the ground, to the side of the room or up to the sky, breathing in and exhaling out. Our triangle pose. That left hand might be uncomfortable at the top. You can keep the left hand on the hip, or it can be on the heart, bringing the shoulder back. It can even be over your head or just to the sky, up high. And we're going to add on bringing left hand down to the right leg. Walk right and left hand up to the right hip. Take a big breath in, lifting the hip, head high, and then we'll forward fold again, walking the hands down the leg. And then think of pushing the hips back over to the left side. And this may be all the stretch you need, but you can add on by taking the right hand out to the side, up to the sky, or placing it on your back, palm facing up, and just looking over the right shoulder. And that triangle today. That's a reverse triangle, so we kind of move the spine. We'll take a big breath in and gently lower down with that right hand. And then left and right hand will walk up to the hip, walking up the leg, and then slowly turn the right foot. Your balance might be a little wobbly. We'll walk the feet in and rock side to side in that penguin pose, rolling your shoulders, loosening up any tension you might have. And we'll return back to the front of your mat, grabbing water if you need, just self-adjusting. And then we'll stand hip distance apart, or your legs can be closer together if you'd like, because we're going to go into our flamingo pose, which is our pose for the month. Hands will go out and up. We're going to sit in a chair. And we're going to bring the hands together and down heart center. So it might just be a twisted chair for you, or you might just decide to sit back and read a book and not twist anything. So as we push our hips back, belly button pulls in, and we're looking for the chair behind us. Hands can be right here in a prayer, or you can have your book in front reading. If you have your prayer hands, we're going to drop left elbow down towards the knee. Now, it does not matter which knee it drops to. If your elbow does not reach the knee, you can place one hand on the knee, one hand on the hip. Or you can open your arms and create tension between the arm and the leg. Well, this is called a twisted chair. If you want to turn it to a flamingo, you can lift one of the feet off of the mat. Now, it does not matter which one. You might try one, you might try the other to see if one's a little more stable. So it might be the leg that is touching the arm. A lot of times I like to bring my knees closer together and kind of squeeze the knees, adding on. Then we'll slowly lower the foot back down. Hands come to heart center in that prayer pose once again, and we look down at our feet. Place your book on your lap. So we're done reading. We're going to stand back up right here in between, maybe drag the fingertips up the quadriceps and roll the shoulders back and down. Shaking the head, yes. Just any tension on the toes, we're going to do that again. Now you may have liked having your legs closer together, or you might like them farther apart. You choose what you need as the hands come up. And down, heart center, belly button pulls in, hips push back, looking for the chair behind us. Now you can have your book just reading in front. You can just read about the flamingos, let your imagination run wild. Or you can have your hands together, lower down that right elbow, and look to the left side of the room. Now, if you'd like, your arms might extend out, one hand up, one hand down, creating tension with the knee and the arm, or you might have a hand on the knee and hand on the hip. And then you can lift one knee off the ground. One foot off the ground, bending one knee. In that flamingo pose. Getting a little bit better. It gets closer to the end of the month. We've been doing it every day. One last big breath in, and we'll lower down. Your hands heart center. Untwist. Place your book on your lap and slowly roll up. for a standing position again. Shoulders roll back and down. Shaking the head, yes. Adjust your feet. We're going to take a big breath in, lifting up to the sky, pushing the palms high, breathing in, exhaling out. Lifting the roof off the building, another big breath in. Then they're going to come back behind us. And we're going to brush the back of the hands down the back of the legs, called brushing the earth. Now you might hold, lacing your fingertips behind the knees or holding your arms behind the knees, or let the arms just hang. You might be in that ragdoll, swaying side to side. So we're melting towards the ground today. You can even draw the little circles on the floor with your fingertips. Whatever feels best. Just listening to your body and what it needs. If you're drawing the circles, go the other direction. And we'll be adding on another pose here in a moment. We're going to lower the hands down to touch the ground, step back with one foot, then the other. Going into our dolphin pose. Now it starts with the downward dog. So we take one foot back, the other foot, and we're in all fours. The dolphin pose just gives our wrist a break. So we come onto one elbow and then the other. Now the hips are still high, belly button's still pulling in, hips are pushing back towards the back wall, and you feel a little deeper stretch on the back of the leg. This will be our pose for July. Getting a head start. And of course, if that's ever uncomfortable, you can be a baby dolphin on the knees, pushing the hips back and being on the elbows. Just like you can be a puppy dog versus a downward dog. Now, eventually, we will come to the floor on our knees. Rest the head down if it's not already and shift your weight back. Hands can be forward as we go into our child's pose, or you can have one hand or both hands out to the side, or even the hands next to the feet. So any combination that feels comfortable in your shoulders. So we put a lot of weight on our arms. Hips can be high, they can be low. As we just slow the heart rate in our child's pose. Now let's place your hands underneath your shoulders. We'll lift up to all fours. And we're going to go in a clockwise pattern, leaning forward to a 12, pushing the hips to the front. Then push your hips over to that number 3. So hips push to the side. Then the hips push back to that 6. And then the 9. Nice circular motion of the clock. And then we'll come back forward to the 12, holding as we push the hips over to the number 3. So we were looking for that stretch that we needed as we went around the circle, and then hold where you feel you need to lengthen out from the knee to the hip and around that waist or up to the waist. You might be on your elbows, you might be on your hands, you might be on one of each, depending what feels best for your body. One last big breath in here, and we'll come forward to the 12 and go counterclockwise. So you push your hips over to the side with the 9, the 6, and the 3 for just the other direction. Now the next time you come forward to the 12, we're going to hold, push your hip over to that number 9. You can be on your hands or your elbows or one of each, whatever feels best for your body. We lean to the side, stretching the outside of the leg, outside of the hip. One last big breath in, and we're gonna lay down on the front of the mat. Right arm extending out, support with the left hand for our scarecrow pose. We'll lift up the rib cage, drop. Right shoulder down, lift up the chin, and rest the right ear on the mat. Now that may be all the stretch you need, but if you would like, stack the hips. Put the left hip on top of the right hip. You might find the left foot falls back behind. But remember, if this is uncomfortable, it is a spinal twist, so be gentle with the spine. You can roll back onto your stomach if anything ever hurts. There should not be pain in yoga, so if it hurts, back off. Don't do it. Just wait till the next pose. Left hand might be on the left hip here, or the left hand can be extended forward, or anywhere it's comfortable to support the body. One last deep breath in. And we'll slowly roll onto your stomach. Change hands. So the left hand extends. We support with the right hand, lifting up the ribs, dropping that left shoulder down, lift up the chin, and rest the left ear on the mat. Stack the hips if you would like. Now, if that's uncomfortable with the hip stacks, please stay on the stomach. You might find with the hip stack that the right foot falls gently behind. You can even have that right hand extended out or right hand on the hip. Adjusting for your body today. Our scarecrow pose. Trying to stretch around the shoulder deltoid muscles, also the front of the shoulder and across the front of the chest, the pectoral muscles, lengthening everything out. We hold a lot of tension for bringing our hands forward as we drive a car, or play on our phone, or type on the computer, even if we garden or cook. We'll slowly roll onto your stomach. Both arms extending for our prone cobra. We'll inhale, lifting up. Shoulders come off the mat. Now fingertips might touch if you need extra support, or they can be over the mat. Toes can be up or down. You get to choose as we strengthen the muscles around the spine, the center core of the body. And our prone cobra. We're going to do some of our side stretches today. Hands will come forward. You can add the swimming motion if you'd like, or just rest on the floor. Today, you're going to roll onto your right side, looking to the side of the room, stacking the hips. Might have to just listen to my voice if you can't see me. We're going to hold in our side resting pose, slowing the heart rate, and then lift up the left leg and draw little circles on the back wall. So we're just loosening up the hip as we draw a circle with our foot. And then reverse the direction so the circle goes the other way. Controlling with the center of the body. And then we'll hold and kick the leg forward and kick the leg back. With a leg sway or a leg kick here, loosening up our hips. And then bring the leg back, bend the knee, and push the hip forward. So you feel the stretch from the knee to the hip. And if you would like, trace that left hand down around the left knee, and then hold on to the foot, the sock, the pant leg. As the hip pushes forward, the foot comes back. We start to feel that big quadricep stretch on the front of the leg, those four muscles, plus into the hip flexor. Now, if it's uncomfortable to hold on to the foot, you can just have your hand on the hip or in front. Some people bend both legs, but then it is a balancing pose where you're having to engage the core. So just be gentle with the body here. We'll take one last big breath in. And then bend and straighten the knee, release any tension on the knee. Hand comes forward and kick the leg to the front and the back. And then we'll bring the leg all the way forward, flex the foot, kick the heel to the front, feeling that stretch on the back of the foot, around the back of the heel, up the Achilles, the back calf, maybe behind the knee if you really kicked forward. Foot's hovering over the mat. One last deep breath in, and then we'll gently let the foot fall down as we add a spinal twist. Now that knee might be bent in front, it's just relaxed. Place left hand on the left hip, roll the shoulder back, and we kind of look up to see the sun, see the ceiling. And then extend out the left arm if you choose to add on. Now, if that's uncomfortable, place the hand back on the hip. Now, as the arm opens up the rib cage, it might fall back behind you. You might even look over that left shoulder to the other side of the room. This is a full spinal twist lying down in what's called a half moon. So lying down half moon, you could also do it standing, balancing on one leg. Nice slow deep breath. Last big breath in. Hold as we exhale out. And then we'll place the hand on the hip. So that left hand touches the left hip, the left leg stacks up. We're actually going to come onto your right elbow and bring the left leg all the way back. So we're kind of reversing that tension of it being forward. We're bringing it all the way back behind you. Now, as it comes behind you, we'll reach left hand over your head towards the front. And fingertips will touch the floor in what we call a yoga sign motion. You saw legs, four hands in yoga. So we're going to drop down that front left shoulder. And then you're balancing on your right elbow. That right head might come down to the arm, to the floor. So we're feeling the stretch come across the body in an extended side angle lying down. So you have left foot behind you, left foot in front. Left hand in front, taking a big breath in. And then exhale, lower down the left shoulder towards the ground. Feeling the stretch come across the body, through the hip, through the waistline, the rib cage, everything stretching out from fingertip to toe, shoulder to hip, and an extended side angle. Nice long line. Big breath in. Exhale out. Nice long exhale. And then when you're ready, we're going to come on to your hands and then onto your knees. So we'll be at all fours at the front of the mat. We'll tuck under to a cat pose, adjust the knees. Your knees are underneath the hip. As we round the spine, we arch the back, like a cat that's scared or upset. And then we'll look forward to the cow. Hands touch the floor, shoulders push back, hips push to the back wall, bottom lip comes over the top lip, and the belly feels as if it sags or belly button's being pulled to the ground. I'll tuck under to the cat, belly button's pulled toward the sky through the spine. So it's a nice flexion of the spine in the cat pose, and then we look forward to the cow, hips pushing back, shoulders feel as if they go back into your back pockets. And then the hips are pushing to the back wall, bottom lip over the top lip, stretching the jawline and the neck. Exhale to the cat one more time, tucking under, sucking in the stomach. And look forward to the cow, bottom lip over the top. And we'll come to a nice flat back. In a side cat, it's like wagging the tail. We bring right shoulder to the right hip, looking at the right hip. Left shoulder to the left hip, looking at the left. Wagging the tail side to side. Our side cat. And we'll do all those side stretches again as we lean forward onto the front of the mat. But before we go to the other side, bring your hands next to your legs. Push the palms of the hand into the mat and then rest the head down. You can even turn the head wherever it feels comfortable because I don't want any tension in the neck. If you need to push, push with the palm of the hand. But we're going to lift the toes off the mat, strengthening the lower half of the body in our reverse snake. Breathing in, exhaling out. Relaxing any tension in the neck, upper back, or the shoulders. Only the lower half of the body engaged. Maybe the fingertips or the hands. And lower the hands down. We'll bring your hands forward. As we roll onto your left side, facing the other side of the room. All those side poses again. First, just slow the heart rate. Deep breath in and out. We'll lift up the right leg and draw little circles. And then reverse the circle so you go the other way. And then we'll hold and kick the leg forward and back. Front and to the back. Really loosening up the hip. And then bring the leg all the way back, bend the knee and push the hip forward so you feel that stretch from the knee to the hip, the front of the leg, the quadricep. If you'd like, trace. Right hand down and around the knee, holding onto the foot, the sock, the pant leg. Or nothing at all, just having the hand on the hip or the floor. Now, if you'd like to add on the second foot, you can bend both knees, but then you are having to engage the center core of the body. Turns into a balancing pose, balancing on that hip. And we'll take one last deep breath in. Exhaling out.
Sound is off.
Okay, it says it's connected.
Yes, it's fine now.
Perfect. And our spinal twist sitting down. We'll take one last deep breath in here and then come back forward to cradle the baby and rock it side to side. However it feels comfortable. It might be with that front leg. And then we'll slowly place this foot down. We're going to shake out the tension in the knees, and we'll do that again on the other side, bending the right knee, crossing the foot over, left hand comes forward, right hand behind your back, turn the torso, the shoulders, the neck, that spinal twist sitting down, breathing in and exhaling. And then we'll come back forward, one hand on the knee, one hand on the foot, cradle the baby, rock it side to side, loosen up any tension you might have. It might be with the front leg, be as close or far away as you feel comfortable. So cradle and rock the baby. And we'll place his foot down, extend out the knees, shake out any tension. We'll point and flex the feet. And then we'll bend both knees and we'll roll like a ball onto your back. So you can lean to the side, come onto the back. Or you can just roll straight back behind you, called rolling like a ball. So eventually you're on your back. We're going to place your hands on your knees and draw a little circular motion, massaging the lower back, right between the hip bones. And then reverse the direction so we go the other way. And then we'll place your feet on the floor for a bridge pose, lifting the hips up off of the mat. Now, as we do so, we're digging toes and heels down into the ground, tightening the glutes, pushing the hips high, stretching the front of the body, allowing gravity to shift the weight downwards, getting fresh oxygen to our brain, and creating a little bit of space between our organs. Inhaling and exhaling. We're going to lift the heels off the mat. And then think of your shoulders. So we take a deep breath in. Then exhale, roll down one vertebrae at a time from the shoulders until the tailbone's the last thing to touch the floor. Let the knees sway side to side, loosening up any tension in the legs. Let both legs fall to the left. And that may be all the stretch you need in a low spinal twist. Or you can place the left foot on top of the right knee. Whatever feels best for your body. Adjust that right hip, push it up and down a couple times, and relax into the stretch. If the left foot's on top, let's have it gently come to the floor and let both knees sway side to side once again. I'll let the legs fall to the right. If you'd like, you can place that right foot on top of the knee or keep the foot on the floor. I'm going to push left hip up, maybe lower it down, gently rock it, adjust. Breathing in and exhaling out. If the right foot's on top, let's bring it to the floor. And then both knees will sway side to side. And then eventually we'll bring the knees into the chest, give them a hug as we rock side to side and open our arms like the letter T at the top of the mat. And both legs fall over to the left side as we look to the right. And you can have one leg extended, both legs extended, whatever feels best. And the full spinal twist lying down. And we'll slowly come back to the center, rock side to side. And the legs fall to the right for a full spinal twist. You can have one leg extended, both legs extended, whatever feels best. Knees in. Kind of look over the left shoulder, breathing in. Exhaling out. We'll come back to the center nice and slow. Rock side to side, lengthen the legs towards the sky. Hands can be anywhere on the legs, the feet, a yogi toe grip, and our joyful, happy baby. The legs fall to the sides. Knees can be bent or straight. You can rock your baby from side to side. We think of lengthening out the spine to the front of the room and then creating a bowl with the body. So we kind of hollow out the stomach, push belly button down to the ground, wrap the tailbone round and up to the sky. Our joyful, happy baby. Bring the knees back to the center. Place your feet on the floor. Lengthen your toes to the front of the room, fingertips to the back of the room, stretching, growing a little longer, a little taller. And then the hands come down next to the legs. We roll the shoulders back and down. We make fists with the hands and tighten all the muscles in the body. Tighten, tighten, squeeze. And then release. Feeling the difference of the relaxed body. Now this is your corpse pose, and the next few minutes is yours for rest and relaxation. So just close your eyes, clear your mind, let your body be at peace. Keeping your eyes closed, begin to wiggle your fingers and your toes and roll over onto your right side. When you're ready, open your eyes. Walk yourself up to an easy sit position. Legs can be crossed or straight or anywhere in between. We'll draw a little circular motion, loosening up the back, awakening the spine. And then reverse the direction, going the other way. We'll come to the center, shoulders roll to the ears, back and down. And let the hands fall to the sides. Inhale up to the sky and down the heart center. Reverse the direction so we stretch the back of the wrist, shaking your head, yes. And shake your head, no. And shake your head, yes again. Inhale, lifting up. Exhale out. Inhale for the body. Inhale for the mind. And inhale for the spirit. Bring your hands heart center. And namaste. Thanks for coming today. I can find this.